Yeah.
Welcome to a Pisces season. So, from the 19th of February until the 20th of March, we are under the influence of Pisces. So, we've just come out of Aquarian energy where we saw a lot of rebellion, we saw a lot of revolution starting to happen, and we're starting to see people taking back their power. And so, once we move into Pisces, it's more looking at taking back our power from a much more self-serving, self-protective, and self-aware perspective. So, what's really important for us all to be able to do this month in some way is to connect to that part of yourself or the part outside of yourself where there is total peace. That place where you can go to. So, whether you need to go out into nature or whether you can just sit down and sort of retreat into this space within yourself, it's that space of super quiet, of peace, of inaction, where you can just replenish yourself in some way. There's going to be so much going on, or already is so much going on around us, that we've got to be able to stay in our own energy to cope with it all. We're not here to sort of buy into what's going on around us. You're here to just retreat back into you and find that peaceful space. So, whether that's through breathing, through nature, through yoga, through meditation, whatever it is, or maybe you just need to sit in a quiet place and stare at a flame or look out the window, but whatever brings you peace this month, practice it as much as possible because it's going to be your go-to for the rest of the year. So we've had a lot happening already this month. So on the 20th of March, Saturn and Neptune will meet at 0 degrees of a conjunction in Aries. So this is particularly important because not only when planets change signs do they bring a whole new energy down to the Earth plane, but when they start back into Aries, they're starting a whole new cycle because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So it's a complete reset, a re-beginning of everything. So we've got that, going on and about to look forward to. So what we can really expect over this next month in particular is things to really change, really starting to reset the way that we do things in every way. And this is very, very important for us all to evolve and keep moving forward. So, what this means is that we're really stepping into our sovereignty. I've talked a lot about 2026 being the year of sovereignty. And what that means, it's the year when you take your power back. So, taking your power back means that you're thinking for yourself, you're acting for yourself, and most importantly, you're believing in yourself so that you can take action and make decisions and do things that fit you, that work for you over and above anything else, and not at the expense of other people, but just merely at the righteousness of yourself and what you're entitled to. You're a critical thinker, you're a soul on a journey, you're a spark of the God energy, so therefore you have every ability to make decisions and do things for yourself. So, on the 17th of February, just gone, we have also was the start of the year of the Chinese year of the fire horse. So, the last time we were in a fire horse year was 1966. So, this was a very powerful year where there was a lot of change. We were stepping into a lot of freedom because horses represent freedom, they represent power, and they have a direction. So, this is what we're looking at in the year of sovereignty, a year of new beginnings, a fire horse year. It's all about taking action and moving forward. So on the same day of the fire horse, we had a solar eclipse in Aquarius. So that was pretty powerful too. So that was all about, being able to step into our own power and know that making changes and being who you truly are is a very important part of your future. And the ability to sort of move forward in that energy, lots more confidence within yourself, lots more of an ability to not necessarily rebel against what's going on, but more to sort of stand in your own energy. So if whatever's going on doesn't fit you, you don't step into it. And what else have we got coming up in February? We've also in February, March, Pisces season, we've also got Mercury retrograde, the first Mercury retrograde of this year, which falls in the sign of Pisces and will go from the 26th of February until the 20th of March. So that means that so 26th of February, so we've got around about, what's that, about 6 days or before we 8 days before we step into this energy. So, with the Mercury retrograde energy, it's never a good idea to sign any important documents, make any major decisions, or make any major purchases when we're under the influence of Mercury retrograde. And particularly so when it's in Pisces, because Pisces, ruled by Neptune, brings illusion. So, what we might want to work on or try and activate outside of ourselves might not be exactly what's right for us. We need to do the due diligence. We need to really think into it, and being Pisces energy, intuit into it, really working out whether what you're creating, working on, wanting to put out there actually feels right to you. Is it aligned with who you truly are? So this Mercury retrograde gives us that opportunity to go within and have a look at that and see what we can do with that energy. and how we can use it to be more clear about who we are and what we want. And very much, that Pisces energy, especially with Saturn only just moving out of Pisces, there's still a sort of a little bit of an influence or a little bit of a reminder to put yourself first and go after what you truly want. Saturn and Neptune meeting in Aries is the time of the spiritual warrior. Saturn is the structure, so almost like the reality, and Neptune is the illusion or the spirituality of it. So when we bring those two together, we start to create really powerful things that come from a spiritual perspective. So they are for the highest good of all concerned. And one other thing we've got to look forward to is Jupiter will move direct in Cancer, where he's been sitting since July last year. He will move direct from the 12th of March until the 30th of June, and then on the 1st of July, he moves into Leo. So we've got around about 3 months of him in direct motion for us to make use of. So this Jupiter, when he's direct in Cancer, is bringing out our ability, our empathy, our compassion, our understanding, and our sort of mothering instincts. So it's good energy for family rifts, things that we can bring back together or work on. But it's also very good energy for practicing self-love. That's the biggest life lesson that goes with Cancerian energy, is the ability to love yourself and put yourself first. So there's all these reminders this year, and particularly this month, of the importance of putting you first. And again, it's not selfish, it's not egotistical, it's not all about you. It's actually about honoring you, respecting you, and being the person you came here to be. So one other thing, from the 3rd to the 4th of March, or deep in the night of the 3rd of March, here in New Zealand, we will have a lunar eclipse in Virgo. So solar eclipses tend to indicate new beginnings and new opportunities to move forward. Lunar eclipses are about shutting the door and moving on or letting go of something that no longer works for you. And so at the eclipse time, whether it's solar or lunar, we're getting an extra bit of support, an extra sort of push to do what needs to be done. That sort of, so things can often feel like they've been taken out of your hands and handled for you, or ended for you, or begun for you in some way. And just know that if that has happened for you, and whatever's going to end or begin in your life, if it wasn't something that you planned or something that you thought was going to be right for you, it will be the universe making sure that taking care of you and making a movement for you that's going to support you and work for you. There's no doubt about that. Even though it might feel a little bit uncomfortable or might be a little bit of a curveball and not quite what you were expecting, it will be exactly what you need if you just allow it to play out. So a lot going on in Pisces season, but the main thing with Pisces season is to allow yourself to retreat into you, into that intuitive part of you, into that creative part of you, into that fantastical imaginary part of you, because that's going to be your happy place over this next month, and a place where you can really look to create a different vision for yourself or for your life, or to really look at what you want moving forward. Because once we move into the full-on Aries energy that's going to start once Aries season takes off in middle of March, it's going to be all about putting yourself first, taking action and movement. So now is a good time to really think about, what do I actually want? And, what does that need to look like? What does that feel like? And then once that Aries energy really kicks in, you're going to be given the structure and the foundations and the ways to go about creating those dreams and making them a reality. So good luck with the Pisces season, and I'll be back to talk to you again soon. Bye.